What's going on, guys? David here, Diecast Life and Death. And so on the table, I set all of this stuff out, and most of this we haven't even gone over. I mean, we did that 1/18th GTO judge over there, but and this is not your typical diecast show and tell because I'm going to be covering all of these cars with the entirety of the rest of my collection. I just wanted something up on this table for you guys to feast your eyes on while I kind of tell you this little story. So, back up, hold on, rewind. I had one of the viewers. He said, "Hey, I want to know your story, and how these cars have been put away for so long, and just kind of wanted to hear." So I said, rather than write out an email, I am going to share with you guys my story. I'm going to start off by saying this, and I'm not going to get too far into this, but I am not in the greatest of health, guys. And that's about where I'm going to leave it. And I felt that I have this collection I have, and I'm going to estimate here, but between the 1/64th scale cars and the 1/43rd scale cars and the 1/24 scale cars and the 140, I've got them all the way up to 118, 112. I've got somewhere in the neighborhood of about 150,000 pieces in, excuse me, 150,000 pieces in the collection. And like I said, guys, that's I sat down a number of years ago and started doing the whole spreadsheet thing, and it by the time I got done with the spreadsheet, I'd be dead. So start off by saying this, and I've said this on a couple of videos, but hey, if you're new to this channel, welcome. Make yourself at home, grab yourself, a snack, and sit back and enjoy. We're not going to take too much of your time on this, but I did put out some nice stuff for you guys to look at while we do this story. So, as far as my earliest recollections in life, and my mom and dad had they took a lot of pictures, and as a child, and I have all of those, and they would turn them into those little, I don't know, some of you guys may know what they are, but the little cardboard with the little film thing on there, the slides that you put through a projector and they show up on the screen, and yeah, so both of my parents have obviously passed away, and excuse me again. My brother passed away, but he was my older brother. He passed away, and so in the family that's left, it's myself and my sister, and I have all of the slides and the photo albums and everything, and yeah. So but going back on that, so we would sit down basically once a year or so, and Dad would put the projector up and the slides, and we would go through, and we had pictures of all the family, the uncles, the extended family and everything. And so all of the pictures of me from when I was like 2, literally, guys, every one of my pictures, I had one of these guys in my hand. And without fail, I always had a car in my hand, and they are, and were my prized possessions as a child. And so I remember going on trips, and you say, well, David, we were just talking about diecast cars and your collection, and how did we go to going on trips? Well, I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. So I guess I was 8 years old, somewhere in that, and somewhere in that era. And we went to Colorado Springs to visit my grandmother, and um, so when we would go on these trips, these prized possessions would go with me. Not but the 48 case, the vinyl Matchbox cases that you. Well, so on this one trip to Colorado Springs, had my cars with me, and there was a little boy next door about my age. I say next door, lived next door to my grandmother. And so every time I would go up to Colorado Springs, I would take my cars, and he had his cars, and we would always play cars together. And for the life of me, I don't remember his name, and it's irrelevant to this whole thing. But so one day we were outside in the front playing with the cars, and we were we put all the car. I put all my cars back in my vinyl case, the 48 count case, and we went inside of his house to get something to drink, like juice or something. I don't remember, and that doesn't matter either. But so when we went back outside, um, my world was shattered. Somebody had stolen my entire case of cars off of the front sidewalk that went from the sidewalk to the house, and I was devastated. Lost all of my youth collection. And you could tell, my mom, if she was, alive, would be able to tell you that I was inconsolable, guys. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I've been collecting in earnest since. And honestly, haven't stopped. I mean, brand new green light from the hot hatches. I don't stop. I'm relentless in this hobby, and I guess that's an excuse for you know my why I have all of this stuff. But so after that trip, I've been recollecting ever since. And some of you may remember these days, and some of you are going to be too young for this. But before there was an internet, and I was around before there was an internet, and I was around before there was a cell phone, and yeah. But every Christmas, Sears, as you guys would know it now, but Sears and Roebuck would send out the Wish catalog, and it was and I mean a thick catalog for Christmas, and kids could go through it, and people, adults could go through it and whatever. But they were catalogs showing stuff for the year that you could order, and my mom would always have me go through, and I would pick out, oh, yeah, I want that one, and I want that one, and I want this set, and so I'd see if Santa would bring it. Yep, that's what that was. You picked it out and you put it on your little letter that you wrote to Santa, and you said, "I want this 137 Volkswagen." Yeah. So those are the kind of things, and every year I would get cars. I mean, because it was the one thing that my mom and dad knew that I would love, and at the end of the day, I still love my cars. And a buddy of mine, when I was in, I don't know, and maybe, in today's terms, you guys are going to go, wow, you still played with cars when you were that old? And I was in middle school, so seventh grade. Friend of mine across the street, and his name was Joel. His dad had above the two-car garage, his dad had an HO train layout, and I mean an HO train layout the entire attic had, and it was, hold on, let me wind up. It was a layout that he was working on, but the entire attic was done up in that artificial indoor outdoor, not the shag, but the, like the felt, and on the floor. So the entire 2-story attic was and it was 2 cars deep, 2 cars wide, but it was actually 4 cars deep because the attic went over the kitchen area. So it was the size of a 4-car garage, and we built a entire city using HO scale buildings and made roads and everything, and we had a whole little 1/64th diecast world going on up there. And so, that's kind of where all of this, as I collected cars, because I had gotten those ones stolen, it's just been amassing and amassing and amassing ever since. And some of these on the table, I'm just going to point some of these out real quick, just to show you just a little bit of different things. But I mean, you've got a dinky Mustang here. Now, I know that a lot of you guys, here, I got to grab one of these out of this box behind me. Yep. So, the gold challenge matchboxes. Well, so what it was in the year, let me look at this. What year was this? In 1997, it was the challenge to go out and find all 75 of these cars. And one of these were like a treasure hunt. One of these cars would show up in a case, and not every case, but one of these cars would show up in a case. And what made it hard was because there were 75, and this is number 10, but 75. And if your target got 2 cases of Hot Wheels, you might have got 2 of the 10s. And so you had to go out and you had to find and trade and, find a buddy that had the number 6 that you needed or whatever. Well, eventually, I got down to having all of the cars, 1 through 75, with the exception of 1. And word finally got around that the only way you were going to get this ugly ass Rhino car in the gold edition, it was hidden. And I say it was hidden, but it was in plain sight. This was in a 24 pack or 12 pack of cars, and it never came with the box or the case. But that was the only way you could complete the collection, was to buy the dang 12 thing of cars. But there it is. That was the last one that I needed to round out the one of 75. And one of these days I will make a video, a quick, we won't go into detail on all the cars. We're just going to go, put 1 out, put 2 out, put 3 out, and go on. But I'll go through that. I'll show you that I have it. But, everything from red lines. And the red line is part of my Lincoln collection. And if you watch the last video I just did on 50 years of unboxing, episode number 3, we kind of started on the Cadillacs, and there's some nice castings in there, but everything from basic wheel matchbox to the transitional, the transitional series. And you say, well, what is a transitional series? Well, so in the early matchboxes, like this one, you see how shallow this wheel in the bottom, the opening in the frame is. Well, when Hot Wheels came out in 1968, I mean, these were, they roll, they play with very well, but they didn't go down the orange skidderoo. So Matchbox had to figure out something to do to try and compete, not compete, but yes, compete with the popularity of the red lines. And I'm gonna grab one more quick car. Here. This is a good one. This is a good one to bring out. This is to try and help tell the story. But so they had to do something. Well, there's simply not enough room on the bottom of these bases to put a large fat tire on. So what Matchbox did, and they would have to retool everything to make, So what they did was they came out with this transitional, and a transitional has these, they're on like a Hot Wheels wire, and they're quick, but they fit inside of the space of this car. And until they could retool this car with a different base, or this casting went away to go do something else, then they would come out with their, the bottom of the car would hold the regular big fat super fast wheels. But so that's kind of the story there. This was the original Johnny Lightning collector tin from back in the you had to join the Johnny Lightning collector club, and this is the first time I've actually taken this car out of its. Yep, see how the tires are a little bit stuck in there? This is the first time this car has ever been held in my hand. Yenko Camaro. And this one's going to end up making its way into one of the jammers when I get all the Camaros organized, because it'll go with the Camaros. But Volkswagen, Trans Ams to this was El Woody's Garage. This was a Hot Wheels Premium, and if I remember right, no, I don't. I don't remember right. I'm sorry. I was thinking that the bed slid down, but it doesn't. This guy is actually, this is a General Motors promo of the 1970 GTO in palladium silver, and these were plastic models. You can see on the license plate, 1970. These plastic models were painted in factory, colors, palladium silver or whatever the colors the car came in. And these were, you could get these through the parts department at dealerships back in 1970. And a lot of stores didn't carry them. So, and a lot of them didn't survive. So I have a bunch of these promos in my collection. And if you watch the video on the 1/18th Orange Judge back there, that one, you'll know that I am a staunch GTO collector. Real cars, small cars. Yeah. So I enjoy the real looking cars. These little cars that look like anything that would have been, your dad or your uncle or you see it driving down the street. These are the kinds of cars that I adore. That's why this one made me so angry that I had to get this stupid rhinoceros. Sit there. But I just wanted to just have a little just visit with y'all and just have a little story time. I hope that some of this opens a window as to who I am and why I do what I do. And in that one video where there are a couple episodes of The Office cars, a lot of these cars, like I said, when I left the dealership business, I left it, and when I packed up everything from my office, sorry, I just got some dirt on that one. I got to get that off. Can't stand it. That's my OCD coming out. But when I packed them, I put them in boxes, and I took my car and I drove home, and I put those boxes into the attic. Not the attic, but we had a storage room off of the upper level of the house. So yes, it was an attic, but I didn't have to go up in the garage and go up the little stair thing. But put them in there because at the time, guys, like I said, that was just the cars I had in my office. That was, a tiny fraction of the cars that I have in my collection. And so, did I want to spend the time and get in there and organize all those and so on and so forth? No. I had other things to do, starting another business, and life has a way of doing those kind of things. But I just wanted to put some stuff out, and this is why I am now sharing my collection and my love of these cars. Is I don't want to enjoy them all on my own. I want you guys to enjoy seeing them, and maybe you'll see something that you don't have. And well, let me rephrase that. I'm quite sure you're going to see things you don't have, but you might see something that you just absolutely have to have, and it'll make you want to go hunt it down. And that's the fun of this hobby. I mean, I love the what do you call it? The current show and tells that guys do, and then the peg hunting videos and they go out and find these cars and they show them, and you know what? I love that because there's a lot of cars that come out that I'm not aware of, and when I see them, I go out and I try to find them. I make an attempt to go find them. So I don't want anybody thinking I'm dissing anybody's collecting style, or that that they're not going out and trying to find old stuff. Because guys, look, I get it. Some of these cars can get prohibitively expensive. And this hobby is supposed to be about fun. And these cars I got before these red lines were just stupidly priced. And I mean, yeah. But so these cars were all gotten when as I was growing up, and in my early in my teens I was still collecting, and up until today I'm still collecting. But I got these cars before they got hot, and I mean before they got smoking hot. So I got a lot of value on this table, and this is just like I said, a tiny. I just want to throw something up here so that while we were having story time, you guys could keep scanning around, going, "Ooh, what's that? Ooh, I don't have that. Ooh, that's cool." But with that, guys, I'm going to shut this one down. I would love to hear any comments. Would love to hear anything that you might want to share about your story down below. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit different because it's a different than a storytell. Not a storytell, but like a variety show. But I tried to put on a little visual variety show for you guys and gals. I always say guys, and there are girls out there that collect these cars too, and God bless them. And so, girls, I don't mean to leave you out on that one, but seriously. And I know everybody wants you to subscribe to their channels, and I know that everybody says, "Oh, like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell." But guys, I hope you see that I've got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out, and I'm going to be doing. And I'd also like to know. That's a good question. I want to go back to that. This is one thing I'd like to hear. A lot of my cars are organized by Volkswagens or Camaros or Lincolns, that they're grouped. And like if you saw in that one video, episode number 3, I was pulling out a lot of the Cadillacs, and I'm not done with the Cadillacs, guys. But I guess what I'm asking is this: do you guys think it would be not smarter? Would you rather to see a variety of stuff come out, and we just kind of go over piece here, piece there, this kind of thing, that kind of thing, and or sticking to the theme of maybe doing an entire Lincoln session or entirely on Volkswagens, or I don't know. That's why I'm here asking, and I would love to hear your feedback on that. And I'm not saying I'm going to follow the feedback. All I'm saying is I would love to hear what you guys want, because at the end of the day, guys, I already own these cars. I can, now that I have all of my stuff back, out of storage and in my new house, and I get to look at them anytime I want. I can unbox them, and that's great. But I want to know that you guys are enjoying looking at them, and that's what's going to make me feel better about everything. So, guys, on that, like, share, subscribe. Go have a great rest of your day, and I can't wait to see some of your guys' comments. God bless and take care.